All praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Warwick Hakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where, whom they may be, or what they may look like. To the rest of the church who believe as well, including you women. To the dead in Yahweh Shai also. The water to Yahweh Shai, because without him enduring and going to that cross for the nation of Israel, none of this would even be possible whatsoever, period, point blank. Okay? So, I'm going to bring out a brief lesson on what separates the elect from the rest of this world. Because a lot of people may try to condemn us because, we're men who came out the world. We did our fair share of dirt, and we're still imperfect, walking in this flesh. And you'll have hypocrites try to point the finger at us as if, that would mean what we preach and teach isn't true, because us ourselves, we are not perfect. We are yet imperfect. But yet, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has set to the side out of the group of Israel known as the elect. The nation of Israel is the Lord's elect nation. But within the Lord's elect nation, you have the elect. You have the elite of the nation of Israel. So let's start this off. In the Apocrypha, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. The elect are going to put their trust in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, and through that, they are going to be led to understanding the truth. And such as be faithful and love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has care for his elect. He shows grace and mercy to his elect. Everybody on the earth is not the Lord's elect. That's why the Lord's elect are able to receive the gospel, are able to receive the doctrine and understand. Okay? They that put their trust in him, and that's not the whole world doing that. That's the elect men, the rest of the church, as well. The world compared to the believers, well, that's a great multitude. So a great multitude are going to be left out because they don't really understand the truth. The fact that the Lord doesn't shine his love upon them, he doesn't care for them, he's not going to allow them to understand the truth. Because, see, the elect of the nation of Israel are going to be delivered based off of understanding the true doctrine of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And that's why it is highly important to acknowledge true doctrine. Because the elect are going to understand the truth and receive grace and mercy because of it. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful and love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect. Okay? So the elect are not like everyone else because they're going to receive grace. They're going to receive mercy, which means they would have to be imperfect to be able to receive grace and mercy. Grace and mercy doesn't need to be given to someone who's perfect. But in the eyes of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, we are justified because we acknowledge the truth. Okay? And we hope to hold on to this truth because ultimately it's through this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we are going to be stable and delivered. This is Titus chapter 1 and verse 1. Paul, a servant of the power and an apostle of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, according to the faith of God's elect and the acknowledging of the truth, which is after godliness. So one thing about the elect have the truth. The elect acknowledge the truth, man. Okay, so that's one thing about the rest of this world. They don't understand the truth. That's why many people, when they see us out there teaching and prophesying, don't be so surprised and messed up because people aren't stopping and listening. The reason why they're not is because they're not of the elect. The fact that they're not acknowledging the truth shows that they're not of the elect. Okay? So I'm going to read this and then I'm going to jump back to Wisdom of Solomon. Paul, a servant of the power and an apostle of Yahushua Mashiach, according to the faith of the power's elect and the acknowledging of the truth, which is after godliness. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. So the elect understand the truth. And the elect acknowledge the truth. That's one thing that separates the elect from the rest of this world. Okay? So the men who believe, the women who believe, okay, the children who are also going to receive mercy from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the people of this world can't condemn. Because, see, those people, whoever they may be, they've already been sanctified according to the scriptures. Let's go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed. So a part of us being saved is through us believing. We believe within, our faith that we have the truth. So we believe in the truth. Okay? Although we're not saved by our works, we're going to be saved by our works. Because it's through our faith that we show our works. Okay? And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I had sanctified them for me from the beginning. So the elect are sanctified from the very beginning. So the elect are already different from the rest of this world based off the fact of knowing they believe and acknowledge the truth. They're going to receive grace and mercy based off that alone, because the scriptures tell you in John 8 and 32 that ye shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. So the elect have been predestined to be sanctified from the beginning. From the beginning of what? The beginning of the world. Before all this came about, the elect were already sanctioned to be saved. And the rest of that great multitude, the rest of the 1/3, were already predestined to be sanctified. Okay? And to be separated from the rest of this world. It's predestiny. And there's nothing that anyone can do about that. So Yahushai on this present day, Yahushai only died for the elect and the rest of that great multitude of the nation of Israel. But ultimately all of Israel. Okay, right now it's about the election of grace. Let's get that. In the book of Romans. I want to say it's 7. Let's go to 5. Romans 11, verse 5. Even so then at this present time, also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. So we know the elect are going to have the truth. The elect are going to acknowledge the truth. The elect are sanctified from the beginning. The elect are going to receive grace. So that separates the elect from the rest of the people in this world. That separates even the elect from the rest of the nation of Israel. Okay, but every other nation on this planet Earth has no doing altogether. But even within the Lord's chosen nation, it's about the Lord's elect within that chosen nation. That's the remnant who is going to receive grace on this side. Okay? So Yahweh Shai only died for the elect presently on this side. The elect's sins have been forgiven. Okay? Let's go to the book of Micah, chapter 7, verse 18. Who is a power like unto thee, that pardoneth iniquity and passeth by the transgression of the remnant? That's the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, the remnant of Israel. Of his heritage. He retaineth not his anger forever, because he delighteth in mercy. Okay, now we know that he shows mercy unto his elect. I just read it. So the elect are different from the rest of Israel. The elect are different from the rest of this world altogether. The elect are sanctified from the very beginning to receive grace and mercy. And that's why we hope and pray to be a part of that number, because you can't rewrite what's already wrote for you. I can't rewrite what is already wrote for me. I believe through faith, that, I really don't want to say it because I don't want to sound arrogant or more than what I am. But I do believe that I'm one of the men in the scriptures, And I don't say that because I'm special. I just think because, I truly believe this thing. So I could see that, but then again, maybe not. But at the end of the day, I hope to be of that great number, that 144,000, man. And it's not up to me whether I am or whether I'm not. But those who are, they're going to receive great mercy. That great multitude, they're going to receive great mercy. Okay? That separates the elect and that remnant from the rest of the world. We already know it's wrote in Zechariah 13:8 that 2/3 here in America of the nation of Israel, 2/3 of the nation of Israel here in America are going to be destroyed. Micah 7:18, who is a God like unto thee, that pardoneth iniquity and passeth by the transgression of the remnant of his heritage? So all Israelites are not going to be delivered on this side. He retaineth not his anger forever, because he delighteth in mercy, which the first go round, that's to the elect. All right? It's really simple to understand. Grace, even because, a lot of people try to separate the Old Testament from the New Testament. Okay? Whether you go to the Old Testament or the New Testament, they complement each other because it's really no difference. Okay? But if you go to Matthew's chapter 26, because everybody likes to think grace is just for every single person on earth. Matthew's 26:28. For this is my blood of the New Testament. So we're speaking of New Testament stuff, okay? For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. Yahweh Shai was crucified for many, not all. He could have easily said all nations, all kindred, all tongues. Speaking of heathen, not just the Israelites dispersed, but he could have said, for Edom, for Moab, and Israel. No, the many he's speaking of is the elect. The elect of the nation of Israel are going to receive grace and mercy on this side, although some of them will be martyred. And some of them may already be in the spirit world right now. Matthews 26:28, for this is my blood of the New Testament. So we're speaking of New Testament stuff here, guys. A lot of people try to make a big deal. Oh, you're reading from the Old Testament. Well, I'm reading from the New Testament. And according to what I'm reading here in the New Testament, boldly in front of you, it has nothing to do with everyone receiving grace and mercy. Only many is not everybody. Okay? For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. Let's go into that word many. Greek 41:83. Polos, or polus. Many, much, large. So many people is not everybody. Much people is not everybody. Large amounts of people is not everybody. Now, the 144,000 alone compared to the world is really not a lot. But looking at the number 144,000, though, typically, if you saw 144,000 people just bunched up together, that's a large amount of people. And include that great multitude with that, that's a large amount of people. But that's not everybody. That's not every single person. Okay? And if that was the case, why do worldly Christians, I'll call them, why do westernized worldly Christians believe that sinners will go to hell and burn for an eternity? If grace and mercy is for all people. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. Now we can go all the way back to the Old Testament and see that grace was only given for many, not all, so to speak. Okay? This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 7. Let's go to 6. And the Lord passed by before him and proclaimed, the Lord power, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth. Okay? Because the elect have the truth. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai deals with truth. Keeping mercy for thousands. Not everybody, but for thousands. Which is the elect and the rest of that great multitude. Forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin. And that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, and upon the children's children unto the third and fourth generation. So grace, mercy, the truth, being sanctified from the beginning, being called to be delivered, being called and chosen, that is not the whole world. That is totally a separation right there. And the scriptures deal with separation. Okay? I'm going to go to 1 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 11. But now I have written unto you, not to keep company, if any man that is called a brother be a fornicator, or covetous, or an idolater, or a railer, or drunkard, or an extortioner, with such an one know not to eat. For what have I to do to judge them also that are without? Do not ye judge them that are within? But them that are without God judgeth. Therefore put away from among yourselves that wicked person. So you can't be fellowshipping with opposers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because there is a division between the elect. The elect are going to move totally different than the people of this world. Okay? The elect are not going to be down with the ways of this world. The elect are not going to promote feminism. The elect are not going to promote adultery and homosexuality. Do what thou wilt. The elect are not going to be irritated because someone likes to talk about the scriptures all the time. There's never a wrong time to think about Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and to meditate on what's to come. There's never a wrong time to think on those things. But we know that some men, their minds are not within the truth. But a lot of that is because they're not of the elect. You have a lot of adultery, idolatry. You have a lot of spiritual fornication. You have a lot of people getting over on other people and wickedness, man. Just a world full of selfish individuals. Okay? We're at the end. These people in this world really don't deserve the time or day to be around the man of the Lord. Because we actually are servants of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And that's a big deal, man. Alright? But now I have written unto you not to keep company. So don't keep company with 2/3, man. But now I have written unto you not to keep company. If any man that is called a brother be a fornicator, or covetous, or an adulterer, or a railer, or a drunkard, or an extortioner, which with such an one know not to eat. For what have I to do to judge them also that are without? Do not ye judge them that are within, but them that are without God judgeth. Therefore put away from among yourselves that wicked person. So there is a big difference between the elect and the rest of this world. And the point's been proven. All right. So Lord willing, that was simple and edifying. Kahala Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.